Welcome to the new. I'm Ashley.
I'm Brian.
Hey guys, get ready to be nannied by your Microsoft products.
Ooh.
Yeah, the company has just announced some new updates to their policies that might mean you gotta watch what you say a little bit more when you're throwing down in matchmaking.
Oh, that's a bummer. But yeah, Microsoft is banning offensive language from all their services, which includes everything from Microsoft Office to Skype, Cortana, and yeah, Xbox Live.
So RIP Xbox Live.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
will be no one left.
And violating those new policies could get you banned from playing games or even accessing your content.
You know, that sucks. We've seen a lot of companies lately trying to clean up the act of their users online. So this is definitely Microsoft following suit, but judging from the way they're updating the rules, sounds like they might be taking a slightly more serious stance than some of their peers.
Yeah, let's get to what the company is changing and what they announced. Microsoft listed the offensive language changes and others on a big page outlining all the shifts they're making to their terms of service agreement. These new policies, they're gonna go into effect pretty soon on May 1st.
So swear all you can until then.
Yeah, insult my mom while you can because the party's about to be over. You also might be surprised at how broad some of these new rules are.
Like your mama.
Yeah, she's a nice lady.
Okay, so you got a month, then clean up your filthy mouth. One of the changes in particular pertains to gamers because it's talking specifically about Xbox Live. It reads, in the Code of Conduct section, we've clarified that use of offensive language and fraudulent activity is prohibited. We've also clarified that violation of the Code of Conduct through Xbox services may result in suspensions or bans from participation in Xbox services, including forfeiture of content licenses, read as any games that you might own digitally, Xbox Gold membership time, and Microsoft account balances associated with the account.
Use of offensive language and fraudulent activities prohibited. Does that mean I can't talk shit to people and see if thieves after I blow up their ships and take their chests? That's half the fun.
Here's part of the potential issue is that Microsoft doesn't really clarify, and that's on their part probably intentional.
Yeah.
It's very broad language, which is actually kind of different from what we've seen recently with something like, say, Ubisoft similar updates they made to Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, that happened a couple weeks ago when the publisher said they'd be enforcing strict ban on anybody who used racial and homophobic slurs or hate speech in the game, and that was meant solely for text chat rather than voice chat.
So, foul mouth, fine.
Say it
Foul
all you
fingers,
want.
no. At the time, that did cause a couple of ripples in the Siege community to the point where Ubisoft stepped in to assure people that yes, you can still swear all you want and talk plenty of trash, just don't cross the line into dick territory and say something racist or homophobic in text.
Yeah. Microsoft, on the other hand, seems to be prohibiting any kind of offensive language, meaning that just getting a little heated in a game on Xbox Live could become a bannable offense, especially now that it's part of the official terms of service.
Well, you also get people being offended by different things or different levels, and so it's hard to say definitively, here's what's offensive, here's what's not. So really, anything could be up for grabs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's difficult to see Microsoft leaning too hard into the new rules realistically, because that would mean that you would have a lot of subscribers to start banning, and subscribers are where their money comes from. In reality, the language is probably intentionally brought in order to give them legal wiggle room, especially given recent current events. So if they don't enforce something, it's fine. It wasn't that offensive.
Yeah, Microsoft hasn't really gotten into what prompted this, but there's some talk that part of this is because of recent legislation passed by Congress. Specifically, we're talking about two bills, the Fight Online Sex Trafficking Act and the Stop Enabling Sex Traffickers Act. They would allow victims of sex trafficking to sue websites that enabled their abuse.
Right, so on the surface, the names of those alone don't seem like they would be related to gaming or online platforms at all. And everyone can pretty much agree that stopping sex traffickers is a good goal. But these bills have been kind of controversial, and a lot of pro-internet groups have attacked them for being too broad. Some say they could have massive implications on what content appears on the internet because, well, some say they would hold platforms responsible for users' speech and content that they share. Hence, a lot of sites starting to crack down.
Yeah, that's a slippery slope. It can be. The libertarian Cato Institute has called the bills, quote, the death of the open internet, and the Electronic Frontier Foundation called it a dark day for the internet because it is, quote, a bill that silences online speech by forcing internet platforms to censor their users.
And it's possible those groups were onto something, because we're already seeing that bill have ripple effects on the internet. Craigslist shut down its personal ads, RIP. Those were always very entertaining. YouTube's banned some types of videos that include guns, although It's not clear if that's related, but seems plausible given the timing. And Reddit's closed a lot of subreddits that have been marketplaces for stuff like guns and tobacco and drugs.
AKA fun stuff. Yeah. So it's possible that, like other platforms, Microsoft saw this bill. They're also tightening up their regulations for fear of getting sued or worse.
But regulation aside, there is a trend right now as developers and major platforms like Twitch are joining forces to try and stop harassment in games, or at least reduce it. Some of the biggest companies recently announced an effort to team up to do just that.
Yeah, at GDC, they said they were forming a group called the Fair Play Alliance. That includes Riot Games, Blizzard, Twitch, Epic Games, dozens of other studios who are going to share their research and discuss measures that have all worked. It's all in an effort to combat toxic behavior online.
Yeah, they kicked that all off at GDC, which was last week, and they were saying their mission is to provide an open forum for the games industry to collaborate on research and best practices that encourage fair play and healthy communities in online gaming.
Yeah, and we've seen various games individually cracking down on toxic behavior in their own communities.
Yeah, Overwatch developer Jeff Kaplan said the fight against toxicity is a major initiative for the Overwatch team and vowed to step up their efforts.
Yeah, they recently added the ability for console players to report people, as well as adding warnings for people who are about to get suspended, silenced, or banned. Basically just saying, hey, this behavior's not acceptable, you're about to get the ban hammer.
The Overwatch teams also started seeking out sites like YouTube and looking for incidents of toxic behavior, then tracking down the accounts that are responsible to take action proactively, sometimes even before they're reported, Kaplan said.
And we've already mentioned Rainbow Six Siege's recent changes, but there's something extra fun about that. Extra. When you get banned for offensive chat in that game, they send out a global notice to everyone playing, just to pile on the shame factor.
Look, not that trying to keep toxic players in line is particularly new.
Right.
It's not.
But the timing of this is interesting. It does make you wonder if other companies are going to follow suit in stepping up enforcement on player behavior. Could Sony, could Nintendo start rolling out bans against offensive language? Gotta wait and see.
Well, first Nintendo would have to support lots of online voice chat, but honestly, right now Nintendo might be really happy with some of the decisions they've made in making it so difficult to chat with other people online because, hey, they have to worry about this so much less than everyone else.
Yeah, they're like, we just don't let you connect in the first place, so it's not a problem.
Yeah. On the one hand, it's a little bit concerning to see platforms start to really research, dig into, censor what people on their platforms are saying. What are they doing? Are they monitoring all your voice chat? Are they monitoring your emails? What are they monitoring?
Right.
It's a concern, especially for people who are worried about privacy, which is becoming an increasing thing, especially with all the Facebook stuff that's going on. Yeah. So that's becoming a real sensitive point. On the other hand, if they are now legally going to be responsible for what people do on their platform, you can hardly blame them for trying to protect themselves.
Yeah, they sound scared, honestly, because this law sounds pretty broad, and I feel like in Microsoft, they're like, okay, so what are we responsible for and what are we not responsible for? And this just feels like a very sweeping move to try to, I don't know, maybe scare people into acting right.
Will it work? What do you guys think about Microsoft's ban on offensive language? Too broad? Is it a needed step to clean up Xbox Live chat? Let us know in the comments.
And for all your gaming news, be sure to like this video. If you're new around here, subscribe to The Know. Microsoft listed the offensive language changing.
They honed in on that one because it's talking specifically.
Use of offensive language and fraudulent activity is prohibited. So does that mean I can't talk to shit? No. So does that mean I can't talk to shit?
So I can't talk to shit? What's up with that?